that. Hit this. Perfect. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, in. This is the last game of Week 2 for the League KC Gold Capped League. Spawning in the bottom of the map, wearing the blue health bars, are going to be Vipers. Baka Pro in the top lane will be playing Vladimir. Fiorix on Xin in the jungle. I'm a Gay Robot will be playing Vel'Koz in mid. And the Revan Christ and Droopy the Clown will be on the Tristana and Thresh combo. Making sure there's nothing happening, but on the top side of the map, in the red health bars, are going to be the Benis breakers. In the top lane, it's Senekin on Camille, even. Savage to the B in the jungle playing Zac. In the mid lane, JV will be on the Swain. Zildjian and Mystic Thunder in the bot lane. For the Benis breakers, we'll be playing Lucian and Braum. Role swaps from last week. So the exact same lineup for Vipers from last week. And even a fairly similar looking team composition to what they were running. On the other side, meanwhile, Benis breakers have swapped around quite a bit. Zildjian is going to be swapping from top to AD carry, Senekin from mid to top, and they've brought in a new mid laner in JV. So we'll have to see if those swaps pay off for him. I know Zildjian, also known as Tacit Noctua, was one of the stronger AD carries in our league last season. So I think that swap should hopefully benefit Benis breakers. I don't know about Senekin really. His mid lane had moments that it looked really strong and moments where it was a little bit questionable. So maybe top lane a little bit more of a natural home for Senekin. Not really sure. And then JV I know absolutely nothing about. So we're going to find out a little bit more as we go along. But right now, what we did see is cross map starts from our junglers. Both of them starting on red buffs. Means that they're not going to be on the same side, meaning should be a good scuttle. I actually really like that start, theoretically, for Zac. Zac is not strong. Oh, he's going for that scuttle anyway. Zac is not strong like level 3. He doesn't fight other junglers. He gets bullied off, and we're actually going to see that right now as Fiorix jumps onto him. Gonna force that flash away, the red buff ticking. Ooh, the plasma fission doesn't quite connect for my Gay Robot, but they're forcing back through. JV does connect with the hand of Noxus. Is it actually called that? No, it's just Never Move. That's the old name. Thank you, Stay Hydrated Bot, for telling me that I can do things. Sorry, I just saw this long message in the chat, and it was kind of distracting, but that bot, not super important, so... Anyway, as I was trying to say, Zac isn't very strong level 1 through 3, so you don't want to meet the enemy jungler over an objective early on. So starting the cross map, we're going to watch JV getting a lot of damage. The Eye of Sauron going to help tick him down, and a good trade so far. I would imagine this is actually a rougher matchup for Swain, just based on ranges. Droopy's going to go ahead and hook in Mystic Thunder, though. Pulls him under tower. Going to take a lot of damage, though. Throws out the Unbreakable, I guess, just came up. Fiorix, meanwhile, is going to gank mid. Doesn't get the 3 Talon Strike off. Ooh, pulls in I'm a Gay Robot for first blood. The Never Move connects onto the Vel'Koz and is able to pull him into the tower for first blood for the Benis breakers. I can't even finish my thought. So Zac wants to start cross map because then you can get the Scuttle Crab on the other side away from Xin and not get behind. Senekin and Baka Pro are going to go ahead and fight, and the junglers are going to fight down in the river, so this is, maybe not terminal. Baka Pro trying to trade back, has the Empowered Q next, which, as I'm sure most of you are aware, that's a decent chunk of damage and healing, so... we'll be able to sustain back through that. Camille really needs to take, all-ins against Vlad in order to actually win, whereas Vlad wants those shorter trades where you can sustain up afterwards. I don't know about pulling into the minion wave, though. Takes the hookshot off the wall. Forces the flash away from Baka Pro. I'm just not sure about the pool in there. I think if you don't have the pool, you can just, pool back out. Flash forward from Senekin, lands the hook shot and the solo kill in the top lane on the Camille for Senekin. That's another annoying noise. We were talking about the Pulsefire Caitlyn headshot last week. I think Rocket jumped Tristana with the Q just up and not doing anything. Also a very annoying noise. 0 out of 10, wouldn't recommend. I don't know where my voice is going. Pardon me for just a second. I think I'm okay. Maybe I'm dying. Maybe not. Unknown at this point. About a 1,000 gold lead early on for the Benis Breakers, though. I haven't even discussed team compositions. Ultimately, definitely would favor Benis Breakers team composition, as they have engaged tools, they have peel, they have tanks, whereas Vipers have this very mid-range composition. You have the Thresh and the Zinzao to dive in up. We're not going to get that moment, though, as Droopy the Clown goes ahead and lanterns back. Fiorix flashes forward, and they're going to be able to kill off Zildjian. They're trying to put down enough damage onto Mystic Thunder. He's chunked, has the Unbreakable backup, though, and is going to survive. So, kill traded back for the Vipers. I've liked... So both of these teams are 0-1 so far. I mentioned I'd liked some of the things that we saw from both of them last week. I don't think either of them are going to go over. We don't have a Lancing esports in this league. I think that it's going to be very competitive as the season goes on. Senekin really wants this. Savage to the B is here as well. Can help try to lock down the Vladimir. He doesn't have the pool available, and the tactical sweep from Senekin will pick up kill number 2. They're trading this for the Earth Dragon. I like the awareness of Vipers to go ahead and just take the objective that they have available, and trading for some damage on the top tower isn't the greatest. The kill is okay, but yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to get anywhere near finishing that one off. But a lot of pressure so far being exerted by Senekin, and when you have your Camille ahead, it means that there are plays available to you that you might not expect. So I'm interested to see, has teleport available as well, and is 2 levels ahead of the Vladimir. And now I'm hiccuping. Oh my gosh. Bot lane's roaming toward mid. Zildjian and Mystic Thunder were making just a little path. They're going to go ahead and sweep through the red side jungle, get some wards down. It's, yeah, Fiorix might be in trouble here when he paths through. Gonna go ahead right now and just hand off the blue buff to I'm a Gay Robot. Except not, the red buff actually kicks and steals it. Man, that feels really bad, because I'm a Gay Robot just used all of his mana in order to try to clear that blue buff. Baka Pro gonna go ahead and sidestep the hook shot, means that the engage isn't coming through immediately from Senekin. Fiorix interrupts a recall in mid. Don't see anything too out of the ordinary from items so far. Swain looks like he's deciding. Gonna go ahead and lock in that Catalyst. BF swords being matched in the bottom lane. Senekin wanders in. He finds Fiorix here at the red buff. Tactical sweep gonna slow up Fiorix. Hookshot off the wall, doing a lot of damage. I don't think Fiorix can win that fight, as Senekin will pick up his 3rd kill of the game, and Fiorix just a little bit overextended in the enemy jungle. Baka Pro slow to respond. If you have your top lane available to respond, can turn that into a 2v1. I think absolutely you can go for that, but as it is, just a little overextension from Fiorix. And we've seen him really favor that aggressive early pathing. Bot lane's going to go ahead and trade level 6s available for the Viper's bot lane, but only for the Lucian on the side of the Benis Breakers. Now Mystic Thunder finally equaling those up. Hook gonna land as they try to just get that passive. Sun's up Braum, and Senekin's coming in. Oh, the Braum ultimate doesn't really connect, and the Buster Shot is really nice to knock 2 people away. Culling comes through, not able to do a whole lot. Does force the heal back out of Revan Christ. Altogether, that's 3 summoners burned. I don't know that it's exactly what they wanted off of that teleport. That looked like it should have been a sure 1 or 2 kills, but Viper's doing a really nice job to disengage. That Buster Shot in particular from Revan Christ was really, really solid, knocking 2 people away and not allowing that the follow-up from the Brahmin Camille. Senecan now going to come over the wall, finds Imagate Robot, locks him up with the Hextech Ultimatum, and yeah, there's nowhere to run. JV's going to go ahead and pick up the kill with the auto attack. That's a rough flash to burn as well from Imagate Robot. That means that he's going to have to be super careful with his positioning now, with the Zac and the Camille able to just dive him. I don't want to say at will because they're not super tanky just yet, but kind of interesting from Savage to the Bee not finishing up that jungle item. I don't know what the fascination is with not finishing the jungle item in some ways. Seneca not able to connect with the hook shot. Baka Pro is pretty overextended. Gonna get kidnapped back in, and Savage to the Bee picks up his first kill of the game. Baka Pro really not respecting the power of the Camille and the Zac, and has paid for it a couple of times with his life now. Bot lane under fire now from the Benis Breakers as they're trying to secure first tower. They have pushes in both of their side lanes, so should be able to at least clean one of these, if not both of them up. And that'll be first tower of the game. Zac gonna get the bonus gold from killing the tower. So 375 into his pocket. Fjorix grabs the Scuttle Crab, which is nice. What is not nice is that Mystic Thunder and Zildjian and JV all are able to collapse on him. I don't know if he was spotted on the pink ward or if it was just an awareness that the Scuttle Crab was available. But that wasn't very good. That was a really nice collapse from the Benis Breakers and a 7th kill of the game going over to them. So as you set, you kind of look to reset right now from Vipers. What you're looking to do now is try to get your bot lane. I don't want to say ahead because they're pretty even, honestly. But you need to make sure that that is the focal point of what you're doing. Revan Christ has performed really well on the Kaisa pick. I'm glad to see him performing just as well on a different AD carry pick. But you really need to get that Tristana ahead and in the game. And if you can get Tristana 2 or 3 items, Baka Pro gets spotted out by a ward. Senecan has no fear of him coming over. Chemoplague comes down. I don't think it's going to be enough to save him as Senecan picks up the kill. Savage to the B jumps in, just trying to save some damage on that tower. Now JV has roamed in with that Swain. Buster shot, gonna go ahead and knock him away. Xin Zhao is back over the wall. Nevermove doesn't connect, but they're gonna single out the Swain. Do they actually have the damage to burst him down? The Bird Bomb is gonna be huge here in just a second. JV's gonna live through everything and pick up a double kill. Zildjian and Mystic Thunder were able to finally join and collapse at the end of that fight. JV able to stay alive just long enough with the Demonic Ascension, and that's going to basically, well, not basically, it's going to secure a bottom tower, probably a dragon as well for the Benis Breakers. That setup looks so good, but JV was just tanky enough to be able to live through the burst. They do pick up a tower in mid, so at least something back in exchange for Vipers. They're not completely dead in the water at this point by any means. The Tristana should help them scale, and their team does scale pretty well into the late game with the Vladimir Vel'Koz Tristana. Xin Zhao doesn't scale particularly well, but that's neither here nor there. He is up 30 CS on the Zac, which I think part of that is because of the lack of jungle item early from Savage to the Bee, just sitting on the Hunter's talisman? Yeah. The Hunter's Talisman for too long. Means that your jungle clear is not particularly fast. Benis Breakers are setting up for the Rift Herald. Rather than going for the dragon, they've decided that Rift Herald is the objective that they want. They really have their pick at this point, so no judgment on that one. I think that this will be a little bit more valuable. Maybe to break open mid, because it is hard to push against the Vel'Koz. Senecan's sitting here at half health. I wonder if this triggers some warning in the heads of the Vipers. Fjorix has to use the is it called To the Arena now? Crescent Guard. That's a dumb name. Hextech Ultimatum is going to go down. Vel'Koz did not respect this, and that is 5 people in your lane, bud. And the eyeball is going to be smashed. That's gross. I apologize for that one. Rift Herald's going to be channeled, and that should be the mid tower going down in relatively quick fashion. Oh, the hook lands from Droopy to Clown. They're able to turn this back on the JV. Do they actually have the damage to kill anyone? Not so far, as 2 members have gone down. 3 have gone down. Revenchrist is the only person available now for Vipers. That was always going to be a 4v5. Oh, and now Revenchrist is in trouble. Actually, Senekin cancels the auto and doesn't get it off. The Buster Shot out to safety. Means that Revenchrist will stay alive for now. It's 15-1 in favor of the Venus Breakers, though. Senekin might fall to the tower. No, not quite. Not even going to get that. I don't think Zach has had his passive pop this game either. This is... Oh. Sorry, I need to get the cursor out of the way. This has been a pretty dominating performance from Venus Breakers, and it looks miles ahead of their execution from last week. I don't know exactly what's going on. They're just taking a look at the Cloud Dragon, but they don't actually seem to want it just yet. I'm not really sure about that one, but Viper's now trying to sweep out that area, get a little, like, anywhere safe that they can at this point. Vladimir has the, oh god, don't put me on the spot. The Australia's Reverie with the revolver now finished, has a little bit of power and actually has a similar number of items to Camille. It's, of course, not going to be even remotely close in the gold, but it's something for Baka Pro. It means that he's got maybe a little bit of staying power in some of these fights. As I say that, Senekin just chunks him out. That Trinity Force really showing the power that it has. Fjorix is taking a safe path here. Baka Pro doesn't look super comfortable on this pick. I want to see him on something else in game number 2. I don't know if this was an idea behind a counter matchup, or if he thought Vladimir was going to be a safe blind pick, but oh my gosh, this is a nice collapse. JV's going to pick up 1. Revenchrist goes down as well, as Senekin now is dominating. Droopy to Clown trying to run away on the Thresh. He has tier 2 boots, but he's not going to be able to run away from the hook shot over the wall. Senekin picks up his 7th kill of the game. It's 18-1 right now. At this point, you're starting to think about game number 2. Like I said, I want to see something other than Vladimir in that top lane. Baka's doing an alright job, like, farming and staying I don't want to say relatively safe, but at least farming. Put him on something tanky, something has some initiation potential, and get him out of top lane. And I think that you can look at turning around some of these fights. As it is with the scaling carries so far behind, you need to kind of pack that one in and switch off of a little bit of carry potential. Senekin and Revenchrist going at it. Camille wins 1v1s. This shouldn't be nearly as close as it is. Revenchrist has actually impressed me quite a bit on the Tristana pick. With a flay off of the wall, Droopy might be able to pick this one up. The Death Laser we see for the first time this game, finally able to pick up something for Vipers, and now I'm a Gay Robot has his first kill of the game. On the other side of the map, we had a little bit of a tussle. JV used the Demonic Ascension, but right now it's just going to be that push into top lane. Only 3 members here. Grouped up team could fight this, but it looks like they're just going to leave Baka Pro on his island. I don't think that they're aware that the Zac had to back. They should definitely know that Senekin is dead, but they could have grouped a little bit faster, I think, and maybe contested that turret. It's as disgusting as it looks. It's a 10,000 gold lead. It's not insurmountable, especially given that the your AD carry and your mid laner are both hanging right in. I want to see the Tristana scale. I think that's their win condition later on in this game. But also from the side of Benis Breakers, you can just take Baron and end the game pretty much on that. And I think that has to be the killer instinct right now, or we'll see this game start to drag out and Vipers could theoretically get back in it. Pings onto Senekin. Looks like they might be trying to collapse in bottom lane on him. There's no real wave pressure right now coming from Benis Breakers. The rest of the team looks like they might have identified that this is the target, so they're kind of slowly heading over and responding. Zildjian is gonna go ahead and take the blue buff on the blue shin. But already the response now. Everybody just trying to assign to somewhere to farm, it seems like, whereas Benis Breakers just need to group up and death ball. No one's responding to that bot push. They were all bottom, and then they all left, and now there's no one bottom left to respond. So that inner tower pretty much free, and by pretty much I mean it was absolutely free. Senekin looking just to see if there was anybody over there to engage upon. There isn't really. The Vel'Koz and the Thresh playing super safe. And now Benis Breakers rotating to mid, and they want to do the same thing again. If they can just get an uncontested tower, might as well. Droopy misses the hook, actually takes it. Oh, he gets pulled in by the Swain. He's in quite a bit of trouble. The rest of the team forced to disengage. Droopy actually gets out using his flash. So they burn the Demonic Ascension. Oh, Gay Robot gets pulled back in. Bird Bomb doesn't do a huge amount of damage there. It's not the most important ultimate, but it certainly doesn't help their teamfight presence to have that one down. Now Benis Breakers pulling off toward the Baron. I would imagine they just want to bait right now. I don't think, given what we've seen, they're going to start that. Fjorix just jumps in. The Death Blazer ripping through three of them. Gay Robot picks up one. A second kill goes over to Baka Pro, and Savage to the B forced away. Senekin now coming off the wall trying to re-engage, but he doesn't want to come in 1v4. Fjorix gets onto him, knocks him up with the 3 Talon Strike, and Fjorix will pick up a kill. Jump forward from Revenkreis trying to chase down Zildjian, and will force him back away. Now the Baron is an objective for Vipers. They're not the tankiest team, and Baron does rip through people now. Look at how much damage Fjorix is taking just from this Baron. It's still at 8,000. Benis Breakers just chilling over the wall. It's still at 6,000. I don't know about this. Savage to the B, winding up. He's still really early at 3,500. Gonna kidnap 3 of them back away, pick up 1 kill. Zildjian here, the 2v5 coming off from the Zac and the Lucian as they clean them all up. The full house, the triple kill to Savage to the B, the double kill for Zildjian. And the Baron should be going over, well, hopefully going over to the Benis Breakers. I talked about this Baron change last week, and the team still have not respected that purple worm. It is not as easy to take as it used to be. Savage to the B picks it up. That'll be the Baron buff going over to the Benis Breakers, as well as the first inhibitor of the game at 23 minutes. You gotta respect the purple worm. He's a mean man now, especially to a team without a tank. With the old Baron, absolutely you go for Baron there. You probably secure it as Vipers. But man, you do not do very much damage to it right now. And that was a really good turn by Savage to the B and Zildjian. They knew their damage, they knew their champions. Hello to everybody joining in chat. I see you there, Corn Muscles and Otso and Lucky Charms. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the cast as well as your days. TP to Clown's going to get caught just a little bit here. JV goes ahead and pulls him in. The Death Laser doing quite a bit of damage, but now the real fight begins as Felkaz gets back abducted into the team. Revenchrist is down on the backside of the fight, and Fiorix is the only one left alive. He'll get cleaned up as well. Double kill for Zac. I believe it was one for Camille and one for Swain. And this looks like it should be it. Baka Pro goes ahead and pulls. His pulls have been super early this game. If you're watching Baka Pro, just yeah, they're really early, and they need that help. This should be the game though, as Benis Breakers are going to go ahead and knock down the Nexus in game number 1. (29-6) the final kill count. 25-minute long game. Yeah, that was a pretty dominating performance by the Benis Breakers. A lot different than we saw them last week. JV looks like he's fitting into the team really nicely. Senekin looks pretty comfortable up in mid lane, and I know that Ziljin is probably happy to be back playing AD carry. MVP of the game, I'm going to go with Senekin this game. His Camille really set the tone, was able to solo kill Baka Pro a couple of times, get that push in that top lane. Really well played across the board from Benis Breakers, but we'll go ahead and call that. So, Senekin MVP of game number 1. Game 1 goes to the Benis Breakers. We'll take just a short break while I load up game number 2. Don't go anywhere. You're watching League KC casted by Meristematic.